If you're looking for something to watch tonight, look no further than a tale where you are the endangered species. I'm here to sell you on 1995's Congo on Slasher Sports Cinema. I just got back from the gym and I'm feeling spectacular. Speaking of spectacular, you like this tank top? Or the bow tie with the sequins on it? Of course you do. I'm a big fan of indie horror, just like I'm a big fan of indie wrestling. So if you want to support a fine indie wrestler, go to IG and find the Rush Freeman, or to Twitter and find the Freak Freeman. Links are going to be in the episode description here too. Get you a tank top just like this one. But now, put on your favorite Pearl Jam album, flannel shirt, and we're going to go back in the way back machine to 1995. We're going to take a look at we're going to look at the trailer together later on. Okay, so just looking back on this film though, it lacks nothing. You got Laura Linney looking like a certified ball peen hammer. You got Ernie Hudson being the picture of dapper. You got Bruce Campbell in the jungle playing with a flamethrower. You got a fucking sign language speaking monkey, and daddy, that right there is a hot summertime flick. I'm telling you about Congo, 1995. Yeah, talking monkey flick. This crazy thing. Listen, when an expedition. Do I want to keep that? Hell with it. Roll it. When an expedition to the African Congo ends in disaster, a new team's assembled to find out what went wrong. Sounds simple, right? Right? Wrong. It's never that simple. But this thing was directed by Frank Marshall. All right. He directed Arachnophobia, Alive, the one about the rugby team that crash landed in the middle of the doggone snow and ended up eating each other's asses to stay alive. And not in the good way, not in the grocery way. Not at all. But Frank Marshall, he's about as big as it gets in Hollywood when it comes to producers in the entertainment industry. And he's made a career, just an absolute long career out of collaborations with some of the most influential people. And basically, he's defined my generation of film watching. I mean, he's produced Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Indiana Jones, The Bourne Identity. A lot of franchises, a lot of work, a lot of success for Frank Marshall. But not only that, he's directed some really good films like Arachnophobia, Alive, and Congo. I mean, that's a good trinity right there. He Listen. If you know anything about me, you know I'm secretly, and I guess not so secretly now, a huge Bee Gees fan. And he directed a documentary on the Bee Gees. Come on, you can't hate on this guy. He did produce the 2015 Jurassic World, so he's still running hot. He's running hot. But this thing was written by a man known as the Bard of the Bronx, John Patrick Shanley. And I'm not talking about, it was based off the Michael Crichton novel, but the screenplay was done by John Patrick Shanley. He wrote Moonstruck. He wrote the play Doubt, which was adapted to film. Had Meryl Streep, Phil Seymour Hoffman, Amy Adams, Viola Davis, and all of them fools got nominated for Oscars. And all of them for their work on Doubt. Come on. This director-writer combo can't be beat, man. Stars Laura Linney, of course, from Ozark. And it doesn't get much bigger than Ozark has gotten over the last few years, right? She's also in The Big C. And Laura Linney has been around for about as long as I've been watching movies. But I heard her commencement speech at her alma mater, and she had a quote that really stuck with me. She says, "Remember that no matter which art you practice, there is no more valuable skill than the ability to listen carefully, especially when you listen to the music or listen to the text. Listen. They will guide you well." Mama, you couldn't have said it any better. Could not have said it any better. But the role of Dr. Peter Elliott was auditioned for by Bruce Campbell, who was given a smaller role in the film in favor of Dylan Walsh. Dylan Walsh doesn't have a lot of horror roles, even if you consider Congo any kind of horror whatsoever, which I do. But he's mostly known for Nip Tuck, which is probably his most notable role. But he also had an unsung performance in the 2009 remake of The Stepfather, a role made famous by Terry O'Quinn. Badass dude right there too. But Walsh did an excellent job in The Stepfather. I would have liked to have seen a trilogy out of those films. Seeing that I also have an insane stepfather. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But I can't go one step further without talking about the great Ernie Hudson, an original Ghostbuster. But man, this guy's shown us over 250 roles. My favorite line from Hudson is all of them in this film. Just hearing him speak with that funny accent is worth the price of admission, I think. But you're going to know him from Leviathan, The Crow, Hood of Horror, Twin Peaks. These are his horror roles. But of course, he's got an upcoming film, too, you need to know about called Mr. BB. It's about a small town sheriff who investigates the sudden disappearances of local children who all seem to share the same imaginary friend. If that don't grab you, Daddy, I don't know what's going to. That is some good stuff. But listen, supporting cast here: Tim Curry, Joe Don Baker, Grant Heslov, Joe Pantoliano, aka Joey Pants. 4 amazing character actors right there. Listen, this film does not lack anything, and don't listen to the critics. I consider myself one of them, I guess. But let's just slap on this trailer, man.
Activate the remote. In the race for the world's most advanced communications technology,
listen to that voiceover.
Discovery has been made.
What was that?
Lock your remote. Give me a thermal reading result to 6.6.
Yeah, this guy could narrate my eulogy, and I'd be happy about it.
Young scientists into the heart of the African jungle.
The African jungle. Africa's a continent. Which jungle are you talking about here, schmuck? But this was the first film I ever saw that used a primate sign language situation, right? The sign language using ape. But at the forefront of this story is human greed. Like I don't know how many jungle adventure stories you're going to find on the market in 2024, but even in 95, it was an outdated premise. Still, everywhere you look today, the Kong, Skull Islands, and numerous Predator remakes drop a smack dab in the middle of the most primitive environs, and we eat them up. As horror, creature feature, kaiju, and monster movie fans, yeah, we eat it up. Pay attention to the story, though. Like, every character has his or her motive. Bruce Campbell, you handsome devil. Ernie Hudson looking only as he can look. Man, this film was just amazing. So full of cliches. And Dylan Walsh had his flow going on back then. Oh, and the accents in this film. Listen, I used to make fun.
Where you are the endangered species.
You are the endangered species. Man, you gotta love that. But I was making fun of the film Anaconda lately with a friend of mine, and how John Voight's accent just got on my damn nerves, because he's supposed to be from Paraguay. And when he says it, he says, "I'm from Paraguay." No self-respecting Spanish-speaking individual from Paraguay would ever say Paraguay. You sound like a schmuck, Voight. You are a schmuck, Voight. But he's supposed to be from Paraguay. And no, the accent wasn't working for me. But everybody in this film has an accent, and it just blows my mind. Everybody from Delroy Lindo to Ernie Hudson to Tim Curry. But yeah, this film, every character has his or her motive for being part of this ragtag team of seemingly just individuals. But you really have to appreciate cinema cliches to like this film. Ernie Hudson's got his very droll delivery. There's a shot of a corpse holding a diamond in his cold dead hand. There's numerous one-liners. Come on. Love this film for what it is. Have fun with it, and then comment what you thought about it. Michael Crichton didn't like it, but he's not the end-all be-all. This film is one of those what you see is what you get kind of films, but it's also like when you order a Steven Spielberg film from wish.com, and that's okay because we all buy stuff from wish.com. So, guys, make sure you're following me on all the social medias, Slasher Cinema on Facebook, Billy Graves SSC on Twitter and Instagram, Slasher Sports Cinema on TikTok, and of course, follow the whole Slasher Sports family by checking out the homepage here on YouTube. Go to www.slashersports.com, and we're going to be keeping that updated as well. And then when you're done with all that, come right back here to me, Billy Graves with Slasher Sports Cinema. Now, treat yourself to a horror flick tonight, and may you drink the blood of your enemies from the skulls of their children.